Hi guys, and welcome back to the Iron Personal Training YouTube channel. We're back with another video looking at our bench prep for the British Bench Press Championships on the 19th of May. So we're continuing with our 3-2-1 format that you've seen us using in peaking before. If you've watched any kind of like peaking videos on the channel, you'll know this is the way that I like to peak. So starting off with 150 kilos, and we're going for 3 reps on this. So we're getting nice and tight, bringing the bar down. My setup at the moment is feeling absolutely on point, which is something that's really good. Really happy with how this felt. Honestly felt very easy, and can't complain at all. We next move up to 161 kilos, so just getting ourselves nice and set and getting ourselves ready. So what we're going up to today is 170 kilos. If 170 kilos feels good in this session, it is what we're going to open at the British Bench Press Championships. So quite a lot of on stake for this session. So you see we come down, nice controlled descent, good press, coming down again, better pause on this one, and still a very good press as well. So very happy with how the 161 felt, and here we are, here's the 170. So this is where it really counts. So getting ourselves nice and set up. As you can see, trying to get it so I set up for bench exactly the same every time, pull myself back through and then push back against the bar so I can get my chest as high as possible, get a nice big arch, get myself nice and set in, lock my hands, come out, hold the bar for a second so I can get nice and tight underneath it, good control on the way down, decent pause and a nice easy rep. So I think 170 is what I'm going to go and open at. I am recording this a long time after this session actually took place. And I've just redone 170 and it honestly moved like a speed rep, so stay tuned for the video that will include that. So definitely think I'm going to open at 170, feeling very confident about that. As you'll see in the few bench videos that are coming, there's some really good bench press numbers hit, so you'll be able to see that. We're now doing 120 kilo tempo benches. Now when I do my tempo bench is like this, I don't actually like to have a set count tempo. It's just as controlled as possible on the way down, keeping everything nice and tight, because if I can keep the weight that I'm doing down at nice and controlled, I can easily get that press off my chest. If, as you've seen from videos before, if I lose my control on the way down, that's when I start to lose bench presses and miss them off the chest. So I'm just trying to train myself to have that nice controlled movement rather than doing like a set tempo weight. We're then doing some seal rows. We're at 80 kilos, 3 sets of 10 at 80 kilos, and then we drop down and do a set at 60 kilos, just as many reps as possible. So just getting ourselves nice and set. Seal rows are a really good one to do, especially if you're squatting and deadlifting in the same like block as well, because it takes less pressure off the back. So I'll often do this before my heavier lower body day, just so my lower back's as fresh as possible. We then come on to some lat pull downs. We're at about 30 kilos for these, doing 3 sets of a minute on a reverse grip. Really good way to build the lats, build those muscles, get them nice and big. The whole point of lats in the bench press is so you can be more controlled and it can give you that stability as you're coming down with that eccentric portion of the bench. As you can see, just doing them here, this really does burn as well. Like if you've never done any work like this, any really high rep accessory work, I do recommend giving it a go. It really challenges you. You don't need to use a lot of weight as well, so it doesn't mean that your central nervous system's getting fatigued as well, but you're able to build that fatigue in the muscles to build nice big muscles and obviously help you in weaker areas as well. So just talking a bit more about the session as a whole as we finish those off, really happy with how the 170 felt. Definitely feel confident opening at that. My plan would probably be to do 170. If that feels good, we'll go to 177.5, which would be a bench only comp PB, and then go to 182.5 to try and get myself finally on the board in the gym. We'll then come on to some close grip bench. So we're doing close grip with an Elite FTS shoulder saver on, which basically means that the bar is going to finish a couple of inches off the chest. Now the reason that we do this is that it means that the chest is being taken out of the movement as much as possible, and it is becoming more of a tricep movement, and it's training that point of the lift where it comes over from the chest power into the tricep power to lock out. So you're training in that range of motion as well, so it really helps you with that crossover point, and can really help you lock out those weights, especially if that's the area you're missing in. I definitely recommend giving this a go. Then come on to some face pulls, just some rear delt work. Obviously again, this is all about stability more than anything else. It's about getting those muscles that are working as you bring the bar down for that control, and getting them nice and ready to go. We then come on after these, we come on to some hammer curls. This was the last set. We've done one set 7.5 kilos, another set at 5 kilos, and now we're doing these ones at 5 kilos as well. It's quite hard to film myself doing these because I usually like to walk around when I'm doing these, but obviously I've got to kind of stay in one position and just do them there just so I can stay in shot. Obviously not that this is the most fun thing necessarily to watch, but this is again a really good way of building that bicep strength, which again is all about that stability on the way down, and building forearm strength, which is something that we'll talk about a bit later in the video, where we're actually doing some forearm work. But again, yeah, so just talking about the comp that's coming up. So it's the British Single Lift Championships, ABPU Single Lift Championships. I'm hoping to go. Last year when I did them, I came second with a 175. I'm aiming for an 182.5 or 177.5 at the worst, so I'm really hoping to qualify for Worlds, which will be in Limerick in Ireland, but obviously don't know who's going to turn up on the day, but that's the plan. I'm feeling really good for it at the moment. I'm definitely feeling like I've got a big bench press coming. We then come on to some heavy single arm tricep pull downs, doing these at about 30 kilos, just resetting my hand there, copying off how Justin Cobb likes to do these. Again, this is all for that lockout strength for the triceps, and when we come into that area I've just got the power to lock out the weight. I've really enjoyed doing this. This is the first time I've really done these heavy. I've often kept these quite light, but pushing them weight wise has been really fun. I've really enjoyed doing it. I've definitely felt the benefit of them as well. And then finally we come on to some forearm work. We're doing some forearm cable rolls. Now the idea behind this is obviously if I'm wanting to lift more weight than I ever done before the bench press, I need to train every element that's going to be used, and I can already feel a benefit from doing my forearm work. Like usually I have to put my wrist wraps on quite early in the bench press process because I've damaged my wrists by breaking them and having nerve damage in them from breaking other parts of my hand. But now I feel like I don't need to put them on as long because my forearms are much stronger. I can take that load, so it's definitely been a helpful thing to do. But that's it for the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Stay tuned for some big bench pressing coming up. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.